Hi, United in Recovery family. I want to welcome you back to another Monday, and we're glad you're here. We've been talking throughout January about the idea of recovering recovery, that the pandemic and everything going on in our society has taken us so much out of our usual schedules and calendars and some of our ways of being, some of our ways of living out step 12 to practice these principles in all our affairs, that it's time for us to recover recovery. And how we want to do that today is by recovering the practice of making amends. That if we're feeling off kilter, it might be because in our regular lives, sometimes we get a little sideways with people or this or that, but we see them and we're able to make amends. And that's one thing that we're trying to really combat is distance in our relationships right now. It's more important than ever that we do that. And nothing puts distance into your relationships more so than knowing you should make amends, but having not done that yet and not knowing how to do that. And you remember those are two important steps in our recovery. Step 8, that we made a list of everyone we needed to make amends to, became willing to make amends to them all. And step 9, that we would go and make amends, except when to do so would hurt them or another person. It's just an important part of our recovery, and not just in a big sense of, I did that once when I worked the 12 steps, but in a daily living that we're constantly doing this. Every time we get a little sideways or say something we probably shouldn't have or come across the wrong way, we're constantly doing this. And so as we think about how we can do that now, I want to share a passage with you that's hopefully very familiar. And this is Matthew 5, beginning with verse 23. It says, when you're offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go be reconciled to your brother and sister. Then come and offer your gift. And Jesus is talking about worship. He's saying what really honors God is not just leaving a sacrifice at the altar. It's sacrificing your ego. It's sacrificing your time in order to be set in right relationship with the other people God's put in your life. So I just encourage you today to ask yourself, are there those I need to make amends to? Have I allowed the distance between us during the pandemic to cause me to put that off? And should I just go ahead and pick up the phone or schedule a Zoom call, a FaceTime call with them to take care of that? It could even be something simple. It doesn't have to be something huge. It might be that there are people that you've become more distanced from, not because anybody did anything wrong, just because you used to see each other and you haven't been intentional about calling, about texting, about keeping up. Amends for you today could simply be calling somebody and say, hey, I'm sorry I've been out of touch. I'm sorry I haven't made calling you more of a priority. Can we get back in touch? That would be maybe one of the most beautiful amends you could make. Then there may be others of you who you need to make big amends. There have been big things, and you've been putting it off. But here's the thing. We don't know when everything's going to be normal again. And if you keep putting it off, you're the one who keeps suffering for that, more so even than the other folks. So maybe now's the time to start asking the questions of how can we do that. So I hope you'll try an open share group tonight. You can find those, how to sign on at 6:30 on Monday nights on our website, which is concordunited.org/recovery. Hope you'll be a part of those, and that in those groups you'll talk about, are there little amends you need to make? And are there big amends you need to make? And how can we do that now so that we can work together to recover recovery and the joy and the peace that comes with it? God bless you. I hope to see you soon.